to be with you guys. I'm excited to talk about this stuff today, and we're going to go over some details on like what we're going to, what we're putting together for marketing and how it works, and maybe even some tech stuff behind the scenes a little bit. So let's go ahead and jump right in, and let me go over this agenda here real quick. So basically, what I want to kind of cover today is what is real estate oxygen. What will it do for you? How does it work? How much does it cost? And Jaime's already kind of covered that a little bit. And then also what's included. So let's just kind of jump right into it. Real estate oxygen, just as a little bit of background, we've been in business for like 20 years. We've been serving a few niches, including real estate. We are a software and a marketing company. So basically, we write software for the real estate and for the marketing industries. And it kind of gives us an edge when we do that, because when we use our own software, we can make it any way we want it. So it's a very good place to be, because if we need to make some changes or update something, we just do it and it's done. We use cutting edge technologies. We try to stay on the very edge of the latest technologies in marketing and automation, so that we can both save money, time, and we can get a lot of stuff done in a short period of time. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how we've kind of put all that together for you guys. So basically, the real estate oxygen system is a lead generation system. It's made to bring leads in to get you appointments without you having to engage with your leads until the appointment is made. Because we know that if we can get somebody on the phone with you, if they're genuinely interested in one way or another, whether they're buying or selling, we know that you can close them if you get them on the phone. And so that's our job, is just to get you on the phone with them, and ultimately it'll work out well. But basically what we do with this process is we take away the heavy lifting, all the busy work, chasing leads, all the phone tags that you're probably well acquainted with. We remove all that. We replace it with intelligent systems that do all this phone tagging for you. And basically all you see is leads that show up on your calendar that say, I want to have a meeting with you, either in Zoom or phone call or whatever it happens to be. And so that being said, there's a few parts that go along with this. And the first thing is we work with your leads initially. We're going to talk about this digital farming, but first of all, we work with your leads. A lot of real estate agents, we found, they just don't have time to nurture their leads, to be able to reach out to them on a regular basis. So that's really the first thing that we do, is we start with email marketing and text, SMS marketing to your leads. And we find that that's really good, because oftentimes it's been a while since they've been contacted, and they might be ready to move, or they might have a friend who's ready to either buy or sell their home, and they can get in contact with you that way. So that's kind of where we start. And then the next thing we do is something called digital farming. And I'm sure many of you are very well acquainted with this, but for those of you who aren't, basically with digital farming, it is basically just a process where we go out to the areas that you're most interested in. For instance, if you have certain cities, certain neighborhoods, things like that, we can narrow it down, and we can reach out to potential buyers and sellers in those neighborhoods, in those cities, and be able to keep your brand in front of them. That brand, it shows up in the form of, like, if you guys have ever been to Amazon or eBay, and then all of a sudden you leave the site and you go off to other websites, and you see all those ads for that product showing up all over the place. So if you've experienced that before, where you see those ads that show up everywhere, that's where you show up. So that's what the digital farming is. So basically these ads show up to all the homeowners in these areas, and it keeps you front and center with them until they're ready to buy or sell. So that is a little bit about digital farming there. Now, also, we'll do Facebook ads. If we want to take it to the next level, we'll light up a Facebook account. I mean, a Facebook campaign, and we'll, like, say, for instance, if you're selling a home, we can put up the home on Facebook, and we can put up, the major stats and then we can have them have a link to you to set up an appointment if they're interested in learning more about the home, that kind of thing. We don't want to put up all the stats about the home, because we want to leave them hanging. So we put up a few stats about the home, things just to kind of like get them interested, but we want to leave them hanging so that they feel that desire to reach out to you. So we have some special ads that really do that create attention, a very positive tension where they feel like they need to engage with you type of a thing. And so that's how our Facebook ads work. And then we drive them. And then once they respond on Facebook, then we put them into a campaign where we stay in front of them as well. Now, another thing is social media. So what does your social media look like right now? Like, do you guys have time to go out there and post on a daily basis, or at least on a weekly or maybe a couple times a month? Some people do, but after a while, it just gets to be very tedious and it's difficult to keep up on. And so that's one thing that we do for you guys too, is we do all your social media, and we write your content, we post your content. All you need to do on your side basically is connect your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google business profiles, Pinterest, Tumblr, any of those social media platforms that you want to post on. You just need to kind of get them connected by clicking it and then choosing, yes, I agree that this program can, post on my behalf. And then once you're in there, we write the content, and each month we send it to you for approval. So nothing ever goes out. That's a surprise. And we do all your social media for you. And we typically post pretty much every business day for you. So Monday through Friday. And we post all kinds of stuff like recent announcements on the housing markets. We try to stay current. We have tips and tricks on how to prepare your home for sale, things like that, things that are helpful to them, but it keeps you in front of these people on a regular basis. So that's another thing that's in here, is the social media aspect, which is very, very powerful. Now, another thing too is that we provide you a platform that does many things for you. Now, this platform is it's a SaaS platform, so it's both online and it's on your phone. So basically, when you carry this app on your phone, it's an app that you install on your phone. It basically creates something that's called unified messaging. So whether somebody reaches out through Facebook Messenger, or maybe it's your Google business profile, or maybe it's email or text messaging or any of those things, they all kind of come through here to one place so that you can see all your messages in one location. We know that when you guys are on the road, that's super important to do, is to be able to look one place and see all the people that are reaching out to you. So that's one aspect right here. The other one is a pipeline for sales management. So when you have a bunch of leads in here, once we set up an appointment for you, it's kind of up to you at that point on how you engage with that lead and how you move them along your pipeline. So basically, if you're moving it forward towards a closing, we can help you with that by keeping this visual representation. This is called a Kanban board. But basically, you can just drag and drop people into different categories here as you move them through your sales pipeline. So that can be helpful for some of you that are working with multiple leads at the same time. Now, there's a ton more things in here that we're not going to go over today just because there's so much of it. But you can see here that this CRM, it's a professional real estate CRM that basically goes through, and Carrie has a good idea. Why don't you guys take a picture of this with your phone, because this is a great way to go back and kind of review what's in here. No problem, Carrie. That's a great idea. And be able to do some crazy things with your CRM that you haven't. So for instance, if you have a CRM with, say, Remax or with another agency, they have the right to keep those leads and not give them back to you. And so you need to be aware that as a real estate agent, if you want to keep these leads, you need to have a CRM that's outside of any of the companies that you work with. So whether it's with us or whether it's with another CRM program, you should probably keep a copy of your CRM at all times so you don't ever lose your leads, because that can be very devastating if you decide to move around to different brokers. So anyway, this is a very robust system, and we're going to have monthly training on this so that you can understand how to use all these things, because it's really fun to kind of get it set up and start using it, and be able to have all this stuff kind of work in your behalf. Okay, It also has a dashboard. So when you first log in, you can get a snapshot of exactly what's important for you at that moment. You can see the different leads that came in, what the status is, if you're on track, if you need to follow up with somebody. It's all just right here in the dashboard. So you can just see everything at kind of a quick glance. Now, another thing that we do for you is something that's called retargeting. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of that before, but for those of you who haven't, or maybe that don't maybe understand 100% of what retargeting is, basically, if they go to your landing page and, or maybe your website, and then they, kind of check you out for a few minutes and then they leave, well, most of the time, they're like ghosts. They're gone forever. There's no way to contact them because you don't know who they are. But what happens is what we do is when they come to your website or your landing page, we start to track them. We track them with and without cookies. And so you've probably heard of like, oh, cookies are going away, which they are. We have multiple ways that we track them that are cookieless. And so what we do is when they leave you, we start showing them ads with your picture on it, with your logos, all that kind of stuff. We build all those things for you. And we make sure that we stay in front of them wherever they go, on their phones, at work, at home, on their computers, everywhere they go. We keep in front of them and show you to them on a regular basis. That way, even if they're not ready to buy or sell now, that you're top of mind when that time comes, or you're top of mind when they want to refer somebody that they know that is a realtor in your area when they're ready to buy or sell their home. So that's a retargeting aspect right there that we love. It's very inexpensive and it's super powerful. And this is a good illustration here of kind of how it works and in a very simplistic form. So you can see right here that a user visits your website or your landing page, and then they leave. And a lot of times they leave not because they don't like you, not because they don't need you. It's because the kids are fighting in the background, or it's time for dinner and they got to jump up, or they have a meeting at work and they have to like shut everything down and take off, or they get distracted, right? And so what we do is we show your ads all over the place, and then it gives them an opportunity to remember who you are and then come back to your website so they can book an appointment with you or take an action. So that's basically how retargeting works. Now, also, we talked earlier about email marketing, and this is really where we start. And I wanted to talk about it early on because this is such an important thing for every business is email marketing. First of all, having a list is super important. And then being able to stay in front of your list on a regular basis is also very important. So this is another thing that we take off your plate, and we do long-term nurturing email marketing campaigns for you so that we can just do little touches here and there and be able to reach out. We often send out emails that are like State of the Union, little excerpts on how the market is performing, maybe certain things that are important in the real estate industry that might affect them, that kind of thing. So things that are helpful and that are both educational and entertaining, just so that when it comes to be that time, they know who you are because they've seen you on a regular basis. So that's the email marketing. And then we do the same thing with text marketing. And this is more when we're actively setting an appointment with them, is that we text them back and forth. And we're going to go over what this looks like specifically, because this is a really, really interesting process. This text marketing is actually managed by some of the most cutting edge artificial intelligence that the world has ever seen. And I'm sure you guys have heard of it before because it's all over the news right now. So we'll go over that in just a minute. But basically, the SMS marketing is super important because you can get instant responses and they can book instantly on your calendar this way. So let's talk about this artificial intelligence. So this artificial intelligence is built on a platform that is worldwide. It is very, very well established, and it's been proven over and over again to be extremely successful. Many times you cannot tell that it's not a real person because this is who it sounds like. It sounds like there's a real person on the other end because it is so accurate and it's so on the mark. And so basically it's like having a virtual assistant working for you 24/7. And so we've built this all into the marketing for you so that you can basically have somebody who's out there working for you, setting appointments, vetting them out to make sure that they're a current buyer and seller, answering their questions, all that kind of stuff. And we'll show you what this looks like with a real world example that we have that we want to share with you. But before we do that, I know you guys are asking like, okay, we've heard these bot calls on the telephone, and we've seen the artificial intelligence stuff, the AI, what people are saying, oh, this is AI. And it's kind of lousy, right? But times are changing now. Things with artificial intelligence are unbelievably, have moved forward unbelievably fast. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to reveal Oz behind the curtain here. And this isn't a big secret that what we're doing here. We want you guys to know all about it. And it's called ChatGPT. Have you guys heard of ChatGPT before? It's built on a program called OpenAI. And this is seriously a game changer. And Jaime and I, we've messed around with this for months and months. And we finally tuned this down so that it has a process where it'll set up and it'll manage all of your contacts to see if they're interested now, or if they're not interested, then what it does is it dynamically changes their entire marketing system so that they go into a long-term nurturing campaign instead of a more aggressive, like, hey, I was just running across your account and I know it's been a while since I reached out to you. So I was just wondering if you're interested in either buying or selling your home at this time. And so that's what we do on chat messaging. I'm sorry, not chat, but SMS. So we're texting this back and forth to them and asking them, hey, are you ready to buy or sell right now? And if they say no, but thanks anyway, it's great hearing from you, that kind of a thing. Our AI is smart enough to understand those responses. You no longer need people to understand those responses. And they put them into a long-term marketing campaign, and then that takes over. However, the exciting part is when they say, hey, I have been thinking about selling my home. They didn't say yes. They just said, well, I have been thinking about my home. The artificial intelligence knows that is an affirmative answer. It understands the English language probably better than I do, with how much training it's gone through. And so when they see these affirmative responses, then they start digging a little bit further, and you're going to see how this works, because this is an actual conversation of a client. Let me go back right here. And this one was with a guy by the name of Kevin Johnson. I have the wrong picture on here, but this is actually a dude. And his name was Kevin. And it says, hey, Kevin, this is Jaime from Remax Champions. Are you still looking to buy a new home? Because we knew that he was a buyer. So like when we take your list of leads, we know if they're buyers or sellers, and we have different messaging for each one. So he said he had very simple answers. He's like, yeah. He said, and so on our side, we responded with, great. Is it okay to text you with some available times? So right now what it's doing is it's setting up an appointment for Jaime. And he says, yeah. And so it says there's here's some of the available days. Now, the days that are being presented right here come directly off of Jaime's Google Calendar. So we know that those days are indeed open, that he's not on vacation. So it goes out to Google Calendar, pulls out the days that are available and says, hey, what day works best for you? Thursday afternoon between 12 and 3. Yes, that's available, because what it did is it says, okay, not only are they available on Thursday, it goes back to the calendar, checks between 12 and 3, because it knows those are times. And it says, and it comes back and it says, yes, that's available. Should we book it for Thursday, January 26th at 3 p.m. PST? That works. Sounds good. I'll have you down for Thursday, January 26th at 3 p.m. Then we go through here, and you can see these two other responses in here are reminders to the client. Hey, we have a meeting coming up. Then the last reminder is 1 hour. It says, Kevin Johnson, our meeting starts in an hour. So basically this is a quick reminder an hour before the meeting starts, and it sends him all the information about this meeting so that he's ready for it, kind of thing. If the meeting location is a Zoom account, it puts in the Zoom information. This one happened to be by phone. And so this entire process, getting this person onto the phone, was entirely done without Jaime even knowing it. It just showed up on his calendar. He's like, oh, I got a meeting today. So Jaime, anything that you wanted to say about this process? Because you kind of lived, this particular lead.
Yeah, actually it was pretty seamless. And I mean, I could see the AI talking to them. And once they actually confirmed, hey, you got the appointment, I called the person. They were very receptive. They weren't like, nah, I'm just looking, wrong number. They didn't have an attitude. They were very open to the idea, and I did my little pre-qual on them. Went from there. Yeah, it was really easy. Surprisingly
Pretty seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cool thing is that if you ever wonder how your AI assistant is working for you, you can go back and every single recording, every single transaction that goes back and forth on here, all these conversations are recorded. So you can go back and look at them. That's how we got this conversation right here. We just went in there and looked up Kevin and said, oh, here's this conversation. And we just copied it out. So this is what it looks like when it records it. All right. So basically the meeting occurred, and yeah, you just heard it from Jaime. So basically this whole process is built for you, and it's built so that you don't have to do these interactions, which is like setting up the appointments and going back and forth and phone tag. Now, this is a pretty straightforward one. There are some very complicated ones. We've built in a lot of processes involved when they don't get back to you for a day or two, or when they're obscure about like whether they're interested or not, or maybe they have to cancel the appointment or reschedule or whatever. All that stuff is still done for you. And so it can be very sophisticated as an assistant, but it handles it with finesse as far as how it's all handled. So all this is built so that you can stay on the road, you can stay in front of your customers, because that's when you're making money. You're making money when you're in an open house, or when you're having meetings with clients or potential clients, that kind of thing. So that's what this whole thing is built for. And ultimately, you get leads. That's the bottom line. That's what this whole thing is built for, so you can work these leads. Now, there is an optional long-term nurture campaign that's built into the system when they come in and maybe they're not ready to buy or sell, which is most people, right? Probably 95% of your list, they're not ready to buy or sell right now. But we have them in a long-term nurture campaign that goes out there and just touches them once a month, sometimes twice a month, with things that would be important to them if in the future they're looking to sell their home at some time. So we've already gone over the cost, but let's go through that again. So basically, this is all paid through Agent Advantage with your marketing credits. So if you have credits, you're ready to go. You can get started today. And so when you close your loans, it's all kind of paid for right here. And so basically, it's essentially free when you close loans. And so it's very simple to get into. It's very simple to manage, as far as like, because we do all the work for you. It's like literally there's nothing for you to do other than if you want something customized, or if you want to go in there and you want to engage with social media a little bit more. We provide you with a portal that you can go in. You can not only approve all your social media, but you can edit anything that goes through there as well. So like, for instance, you're like, this is a great post, but I don't like the picture, so I just want to replace the picture with one of my own. Or I like the post, but I don't like exactly how it's worded. So you can say, really, this is how I would say it. And then you can just type it in and click OK. And then that's what goes out on all your social media platforms. And so I think maybe it's probably about time for any questions or any comments that you guys have.
I have questions.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi. Thank you very much for that presentation. That's amazing. That's
Sure.
like the answer to all my prayers.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
My prayers worked at 3:30 in the morning this morning to get my spiritual stuff in. Thank you.
Very good.
Hold on a second. Let me just finish something really quick. Okay, so you said that we could use our marketing dollars, which I think I have some coming or some there. would that be, what would it be like every month, and how do we maintain that?
So Jaime, do you want to handle that one? You want me to do that?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the credits, then it's monthly, obviously, depending on which package that you choose. And then from there, I mean, it's just a matter of how many credits you've got. If not, if you don't want the campaigns to end, you can always upload a credit card to keep it going. And then the next month, when you obviously close some loans, then we could reimburse you on that. So there's different ways.
What would the monthly be on that, say for the package that he just discussed?
Yeah, let me bring that up for you real quick. Let's go over the different packages. That's a great
Perfect.
question.
Perfect.
All right, so here is, let me make it really big here. It's going to be slow because I'm streaming here.
No worries.
All right, so let's go directly to the pricing right here, and we'll go over each of the different packages. Okay, so the starter right here, it's $77 a month, and that's for us to basically write all of your content for social media each month and to be able to post it and manage your social media accounts. So if that's all you needed, just that one thing, then you have this, what we call the starter home. And that's basically just so that you don't go dark on social media, because social media is like one of those things that people are gauging whether you're even in business anymore or not, because a lot of people kind of got wiped out with COVID. So people will look at their social media to see, hey, are they even still alive, kind of thing. So it's important to stay current on social media. And that doesn't mean you need to post every day, but you need to post on a pretty regular basis so they kind of see like the lights, the open sign is on in the window, kind of thing. And so that's the first one. The second one is the cottage right here. And so this is where we build you a professional landing page if you need it. A lot of you guys already have websites and landing pages and stuff like that. But really where this comes in is the digital farming. And that's basically where we can start reaching out to potential homeowners, but who are potentially buying or selling in the area. And then we give you the CRM to start collecting all the leads that come in, social media posting every business day. And then also a whole bunch of other stuff in here in your platform. Then we have two others that just kind of amp up those types of things. So we have one that's called the VIA, and that's basically everything that's included here. Plus we post 7 days a week instead of 5. And we have a reporting dashboard. We have an autoresponder. This is where we start doing all of your funnel marketing. So this is where we, engage. This is where we do the email marketing, things like that, where we start engaging and working with your existing leads. We have retargeting banners. So this is where we introduce retargeting. So anyone who visits your website or your landing page or anything that's related to you, we start putting their ads in front of, or your ads in front of them so that they can remember you. And and so we can also integrate the MLS into your landing pages at this level as well. So if you need some integrations there, we can help you with that. And then the next one, the 1477, that's just amping up the ad spend. So it's basically broadening our reach and reaching more people. That's essentially what the difference is between the 757 or the VIA and the Chateau is. Just we post every single day on social media. We do the digital farming, but what we do is we just reach more people. So like if you want more leads to come in, we just got to get in front of more people. And that's what this top one is. We do the SMS marketing, we do email marketing, social media, display ad campaigns. We actually introduce some campaigns that are targeting homeowners that are, quote, in market for real estate.
Chris,
So
can
that's
I ask a question?
Yep.
Okay, so when you say targeting, so you're the one that does all the ads and everything outside of what we already have, just as our own clients and our CRM. How does that all work?
Yeah, so basically we build all the ads for you. You approve them though. So once we build them, we'll send them over to you and we'll say, hey, we'll send them to you via email, whether they're Facebook ads, whether they're display advertising, all that kind of stuff. We're like, hey, this is what we built. Do you want any changes? If you want any changes or updates, then we make those modifications. Then when you give us thumbs up, we kick off the campaign and off it goes. And those ads start going off to everybody who's a homeowner in the area.
And how often do those ads go out?
Well, they run 24/7. But
Okay.
essentially, it depends on how big your city is, because like if you're targeting, say, a smaller city or maybe even just a few neighborhoods because you really want to work in certain neighborhoods because you know that those houses are churning, we can do that. And we can help you manage your ad spend based on like how big the audience is there. But like, for instance, if you're targeting the entire city of LA, well, you know that like not very many people are going to see your ads because, you know, $1,400 isn't going to be able to reach the entire city of LA. So what we do is we work with you and say, okay, let's do a suburb of LA. Let's do it in the area that like you like to work in, or that you've sold a house in or bought a house in before, that kind of a thing. And so we'll help you kind of narrow down so that each person sees your ads. Now, to answer your question, every person should see your ad at least 1 to 2 times a day.
So,
That's what we do.
got it. So it's the monthly payment of the 757, say, for the villa, plus the ad spend?
No, that includes the ad spend.
Okay.
Yep. So that's all inclusive. So there's no other costs outside of the 757.
Would that be for the same for the 357? You just said it would just be a smaller reach though, right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And you can bounce around at any time. Like, for instance, if you wanted to, like, say, for instance, you sold a couple of homes this month and you're like, let's go gangbusters. I have some extra money in my account. Let's go ahead and use it. So what we can do is we can jump into the chateau for a month or two, however long you want. And then you can say, okay, let's back it down because, I'm distracted with some other things, or I'm busy, selling more homes or whatever. And you can bounce up and down. There's no long-term commitments between these.
So no contracts, no anything. It's a month to month.
No, nope, month to month. Yeah, we try to make it easy on you guys.
And from the time that you sign up, how long does it take you to create the ads and send them over and get them approved? And what would be the whole setup? Like, how long would that take?
Usually it takes between 2 and 3 days or so for us to jump in there and create your first set of ads and then send them over to you.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate all the questions that you answered.
Very good. Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah, there we go, guys. So, I mean, this is the new phase for us. We're excited about all this stuff, so that way we can help you guys get more business, keep this thing going. If there's any other questions for Chris, let us know. If not, I guess
I have a question for you.
Sure.
You didn't think I was going to let you off that easy, did you? You made me jump out of Zoom. Hey, okay. So it sounds like to me that you've used them before, correct?
Mhm.
So tell me about your experience. I'm just curious. It's okay that Chris is on here, but just tell me what you experienced. Obviously you had good results because you're bringing this to the table. So just wanted to pick your brain and what you saw of it. How long were you a member and what did you see come out of this?
Well, like I said, their setup is pretty simple and seamless. I really didn't have to do anything. I don't think I did anything. I think all I did was give them my contact information, the logos, and my brokerage. And from that point on, then I started to see certain conversations, like say so-and-so engaged in the system, but has not made an actual, an appointment. And then finally, once I actually got the appointment, again, the person was very hot lead. It wasn't like somebody who was just, nah, no attitude, nothing like that. So I was just very surprised. I'm like, wow, okay. The guy was like very positive to talk to me. Not like your typical leads where you feel like you're kind of pulling, teeth and stuff like that just to get them to talk to you. So, but yeah, so far it's been good.
Did you get quite a bit of leads from it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Did you close anything?
Nothing yet.
Are you on this?
Process. Huh?
Are you on this now still?
Yeah, they have my database.
So you can upload your entire database to this? Is that what we can do?
That's what I did, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So the CRM that we give you, it's an open CRM, which means you can import or export any of the leads at any time. It's not like we hold them captive. So basically, when you send us your database, we can import it for you so you don't have to hassle with it. But once they're in there and you start getting more and more and more leads, if you want to move to a different CRM, you literally just hit the export button and it exports all the fields out so you can import it into any other CRM.
See, that's the problem that I have is I've got a good CRM and I try to use it as much as possible, but I am distracted. I'm selling houses. I got a team here. We have an office, all of those things. And I have people that are interested and we do try to stay in front of them, but I just don't think we're super consistent. And so having somebody manage all of that on steroids would be amazing. And maybe I could spend some time with a grandbaby.
Yeah, that's
There
the
you
whole
go.
point of this. Yep. That's why we
Yeah.
brought this in, because we wanted to, we've dealt with this before, and Jesse can attest to this too, is because we've dealt with like trying to maturate leads and then handing them off to the agent and then trying to see if that's going to work or not. But I mean, with Chris, we figured out a way where it's just the lead actually goes to the appointment. So you're not sitting in there hounding the person and trying to figure out, hey man, what happened? You fell off, you know?
You
None of that.
ghosted me.
Yeah, exactly. Why'd you ghost me? You don't even have
Right.
to worry about that. It just all of a sudden you get a bling. Oh, you got a calendar appointment today at 3:30 to talk to so-and-so. You know what I mean? He's a seller. It's just that easy. And I was just like, wow, this is cool. This is really amazing.
That's amazing. Okay. I've got some good ideas I can do with this.
I love it. That's the whole point. Yeah. So I'm glad you came on, because that's what I really wanted you to see was check this out.
Oh, I know. I thought you had Lindsay for something, and then now I'm glad I was on it. I didn't realize it was this extensive. So that's great. Thank you so much, Jaime, for bringing this to the table. We appreciate it. Anything to help with our business here. And I'm Grace is here right now. She's going to be jumping on here with us as well. You know Grace, don't you?
Yeah. What's up, Grace?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing, girl? It's been a while.
It has, yeah. I was in title for so long, and now it's just I'm shifting into doing real estate again.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but
But hey,
but
here you
I'm
are.
back into real estate. It's what I know, so
Cool.
yeah, I'm excited.
All
Cool.
right.
So can we talk about a package deal? How would that work? Maybe you guys can think about it. If I was to get all of my agents onboarded, what could we do with that if I did? Because I have maybe 6 I'd like to possibly onboard to take advantage of this. Is there any perks with that?
Chris, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, we can probably work with you on stuff like that. I mean, we don't want to get too far out of the norm because we have all the systems in place.
Right.
But yeah, like we could work with you on that for sure.
Well, I mean, the easiest suggestion would be just having them sign up to Agent Advantage and then have them start submitting their buyers. At that particular point, they start, generating their own credits. And it's not something that you're offering as like a bonus or a package. They earned it. And
Yeah, no, I get that. The only reason I was saying is because some of them are newer agents, and they haven't really kicked in yet, or they've got a couple of things in escrow